The winters are long. At the first sign of good weather, adventure riders are drawn to mountains like moths to flame, but for months the roads and trails are choked with snow. So, springtime is long. Are there alternatives to riding peaks and ridges in the inland northwest? This is our first overnight push into eastern Washington's Palouse region in the Channeled Scablands at its periphery. Is there enough terrain to scratch that exploring itch through winter's long last gasp? Are there different barriers to be encountered? Find out with us as we trade our beloved peaks and ridges for rocks and knolls.
And that right there is where we wanted to go. Yep, look at that.
The Palouse Plateau is a large dryland agricultural region with endless rolling hills. Wheat, barley, and legumes are more plentiful than trees. Come to think of it, sometimes farmsteads seem a lot more plentiful than trees out here, but you can see everything for miles.
No, you can't smell it on the video, but it sure does smell nice here. That's right.
Sometimes we explore tracks we encounter along the trip, and sometimes we scout with satellite imagery to find interesting ways to get where we're headed. Even updated maps present unexpected surprises, and, as it turns out, so does satellite imagery.
We got a problem. It ends here. Like, I'd love to go right through there, yeah. Yeah. Truly.
The best laid plans of mice and men. There's this wee fence, padlock gates.
If we could just go over top of it, but it doesn't lay down enough to do that. So this is where we want it to be. And that right there is where we want it to go.
But that is not where we went. We didn't know how to contact ranch owners to obtain permission for access, so our half-baked plan of camping in the wide open spaces was dashed just as surely as 5 feet of stubborn snow. We turned back and chased the sunset toward an organized campground, which was closed due to the COVID outbreak. The views of the dying light were breathtaking, but it was really, really dark by the time we found a hotel room in Ritzville. Real frustrating, but still an adventure. The Channeled Scablands sport basalt buttes and coulees, loess hills, and bodies of water. Here they grow, well, mostly cows.
He's interested in you.
I got nothing you want, sister. This is Rock Creek Recreation Area, Bureau of Land Management. It's not a ranch. Unlocked gates, real tracks, real terrain, real remote, and well, just real. And after the previous night's crushing disappointments, is this real redemption?
Yeah. You're clear.
An uncharacteristic 90 degrees Fahrenheit and no evaporative cooling vests along because it's mid-May. The slower speeds, reduced ventilation, and stopping for several gates resulted in mild heat stroke. It would have gotten me if I hadn't had 2 liters of water to guzzle just then. ADV gear has its limitations.
Ah, cool.
We would go back just to ride that area all day, but there is still much territory that we had lofty aspirations to see. Time constraints had us divert before finding a way to Palouse Falls from the east side, for example, more ranches. But there are other ways of getting to large bodies of water. Now late afternoon in the furthest distance south, we beat feet for home through the Palouse with only minor detours. We saw plenty, but we left a lot of territory for exploration during future rides. And yes, we will most certainly be doing more early season rides in this region. While there are challenges unique to this area, they aren't anything that couldn't be handled with some planning. What about you? You're still watching. Have you been convinced to give consideration to riding the Palouse and Scablands? Leave a comment below to let us know either way. Click on some buttons if that's how you roll. And until next time, thanks for coming with us through the rocks and knolls.